Hey guys, Pastor Jeff here in the podcasting studio, coming off a week where we've been talking about wisdom and how to live a wise life, how to live a life that shows skillful living, not just how to know what to do, but to actually put it into practice. As we get ready to head into the Thanksgiving season, I think there's a topic I want to talk about. It's called stress. Stress can come in a variety of ways. Stress can hit us in a variety of directions. Even some of us that are listening would say, I don't have any stress. And the reason you might say that is you've been good at suppressing it, dealing with it, pretending it's not there, while all the while it continues to creep. It continues to rise up in you. Now, we can get stress in a variety of different ways. We can have stress with our time, where we wake up and we say, how am I going to get all this done with so limited amount of time? We can get stressed with time in the sense of, I just feel like it's mundane. I have to do this. I have to do that. I've got to take the kids to school. I got to go to work. I got to take my kids to practice. I got to do the wash. I got to do the cleaning. I've got to mow the grass. I've got to keep the house straight. Whatever it is, a bunch of have-tos with time, and we don't feel any freedom from time, and stress can begin to creep up. We can get stressed in relationships. We're in a relationship that's close, like in our marriage or with our children, or in a relationship with our extended family, or in a relationship with somebody outside of our network. It just stresses us out. There's certain touch points that we have where we're not feeling a mutuality in that relationship, and we can get stressed by relationships. Perhaps some of you are heading into Thanksgiving where you're going to see family members, and it's stressful to even think about seeing them, or you got to pray before you go so that your heart's right when you do see them. So stress can creep up about relationships. And then stress can also happen with money. There can be a money stress where you have too much to spend and not enough to spend, and it begins to stress us out, especially during a holiday season when there's extra expectation that we're going to spend more money during this time. And then there's stress with mission or purpose of, I'm so stressed. I don't even know if I'm doing what I should be doing. I feel like I have to do this, but I want to do that. And how do I stay on mission? Or I want to be on mission, but my health is failing right now, or something's taking me out of the way that I can't focus on my mission directly. So stress can creep in a lot of different ways. And when that happens, many times we abandon what God is trying to get done through that trial, and we begin to think it's up to us to either fight through the stress and work extra hard, or kind of reserve ourselves and quit. But I believe God has a word for us when we go through stressful situations. And I want to read that to you from 1 Peter chapter 5, and I want to read through verses 6 and 7. It says, therefore, humble yourselves under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you at the proper time. When you're going through difficulties, it's a time to stay humble before the Lord. It's a time to posture yourself before the Lord. And being humble before the Lord doesn't mean just saying, all right, I'm not going to deal with this. I'm humble. God, it's your job. It's the idea of engaging God and greater dependence upon the Lord when you're going through stressful times, where you're trusting the Lord, that he's the one that's going to bring you through it, that he's the one that will exalt you. He's the one that will keep your foot firm on the foundation as you continue to walk. And then it says this in verse 7, casting all, that's every bit of it, casting all your anxiety upon him because he cares for you. And cast on means to throw upon. It means to hurl on. It's the same word that's used when Jesus is riding a donkey into Jerusalem. They hurl blankets on it. They cast the blankets on it. They throw the blankets on. That's what we're supposed to do with our stress, our anxiety. Anxiety, I saw a great definition this week, and here's what it says. It says it's a feeling of apprehension or distress in view of possible danger or misfortune. It's the apprehension or distress in view of possible danger or misfortune. It's when you begin to think about the future and you begin to say, this could go bad. This might not turn out right. This might cause misfortune. This might be dangerous. I just don't know how this is going to work out. And anxiety begins to creep. It begins to creep with time, relationships, money, mission, health, all those different things. And what God is saying, when you feel that way, the way you're humbling yourself before me, cast it all on me, hurl it all on him, throw it all on him, saying, God, I give you my future. I give you this problem. I give you this trial. I'm giving it to you. I'm depending upon you to work it out. I'm no longer going to carry it. I can't take it anymore. And it's really not abdicating your responsibility. It's really not saying, I don't care anymore. If God doesn't do it, I'm done. It's really saying, God, I'm leaning on you. I'm trusting you. I'm still going to endure through this difficulty, but I'm no longer going to be the one who carries it. You are. It's very similar to when you're at an airport and there's one of those moving conveyor belts, moving sidewalks that you can walk on that, you can stand on that, you can drop your bags, you can let the conveyor belt carry all your burdens while you just stand there and let the conveyor belt do the work. That's what it's like to cast all your anxieties upon the Lord. It's standing with him. It's letting him carry the burden. It's letting him carry the weight. It's letting him give revelation and wisdom as to what you need to do in the circumstance that you're in. And if we really believe in the God of the Bible that genuinely loves you, that is completely sovereign over every circumstance, who engineers and authors or allows everything that happens, then we can know this: everything that's going on in my life is for my good and for the good of others. And he is building spiritual muscle and strength in me as I go through these things. So I no longer need to stress and be anxious and carry all this. I need to cast it all back on him. And the way I do that is by praying and saying, God, let me be clear. This trial is yours. This anxiety is yours. This difficulty is yours. You have it. You take it. I'm leaning into you. I'm trusting you to carry it. I'm trusting you to work it out. When you show me what to do, I'm going to do it. And until you do, I'm going to walk with you, trusting you in it, working it out. And here's the promise: that if we humble ourselves like that, if we depend upon the Lord like that, in due time, he will exalt you. And exalting you simply means this: he will bring you to a place where your feet feel firm. He will bring you to a place where you come through the trial and you soar through the trial and you're at peace from the trial. That's what he promises to do. And I'm encouraging you today, wherever you're feeling the stress, just cast it all on him. You don't need to worry about misfortune or danger in the future. The Lord your God is the one who goes before you. He will be with you. He will not leave you. He will not forsake you. So do not fear and do not be dismayed. Your God is a good God. You can trust him with all things, specifically your anxiety, specifically your stress. If you trust him with your stress, that frees you up then to be the fullness of what God created you to be in the moment, to honor him and to be a blessing to others. I hope this is encouraging to you. I know in this season of my life, these verses have been extremely encouraging to me. I hope they are to you too. Cast it all on him today. Pause right now where you are. Get to a place where you can pray. Get down on your knees and tell the Lord, Lord, you have this. I've been carrying this for way too long. I'm not abdicating any responsibility from it, but I refuse from this moment on to carry the weight of it. You carry it. You ask me to give it to you. Here you go. I'm going to walk with you until you show me how you're going to bring me through this. And I believe you'll exalt me at the proper time. And that's a promise from the Word of God. I hope that's encouraging you today. I want you to know that tomorrow we're going to be in the book of James. We're going to be starting chapter 4, one of my favorite places in the entire book. I know it's going to be a blessing to you. And until I see you, know this from my heart to yours, that you are loved.